right, everyone. Welcome into Oglethorpe Outlook here on the SDH Network. I'm Madison Crews, and joined with me is the head coach for the Oglethorpe men's soccer team in Jon Akin. And Jon, y'all are getting ready for a really, really cool matchup on Saturday. It's the SAA playoffs. What's been the building like up to this playoff game?
I think it's a little disappointment that we didn't finish first in full transparency. We had an opportunity against Barry just to get a result, and their goalkeeper played very, very well at the end of the game to keep them in it despite a lackluster performance from us, according to our standards. And it's a rematch of a game we played a couple weeks ago at home, which is nice. We're not on a bus for 6.5 hours to go to Jackson, Mississippi, and expectations are high. Millsaps is going to try to shock the world as the 7 seed playing the 2 seed, and we're going to do everything in our power to prevent that from happening.
You talk about this season. You look at the your overall record for the season. 6 ties this season. A lot of people can look at that as you were this close to maybe losing or not getting there. You guys, it was a lot of good games where it was almost like you were this close to securing a win. What was the what do you think was missing that was needed in order to get that win in a lot of those games?
I think we have to give a few goalkeepers some credit for standing on their head. I mean, we can't take anything away from a couple outstanding performances. Things that come out to mind are the Hendricks goalkeeper was outstanding. The Roanoke goalkeeper was amazing. Rhodes's goalkeeper and it just didn't really fall to us. Had a couple big saves. I would say the Belhaven, another. 4 of those 6 ties should have been wins with a little more quality, and maybe in 2 of those ties, the Emory tie and I'm missing one. The Lynchburg tie were probably 2 legitimate even performances, and could have gone one way or another. I mean, Dylan Baps hits the bar with 90 seconds to go, which could have been a win, but a tie was a fair result. And those other ones, it was a few teams' hard work negating some of our quality and us not rising above that with our quality. So I think that's something that we've learned is we've got to match anyone's work rate, and then hopefully our quality will shine through.
How have you seen the response from the guys heading into this game on Saturday? Have you seen a little bit more of that urgency of, okay, hey, we didn't get the first seed. We're going in as a 2nd seed. We got to get this done.
Right. Yeah. It's. I mean, the regular season's over. I mean, all the games we played in preparing for this, it's done, and we either learned from those moments of the ingredients that we need to add to have the success that we're used to here at Oglethorpe, or we don't, and our season ends, and a lot of seniors are finish their college careers, and we start afresh again with the returning guys and the additional players we'll be recruiting into the program next year. It's a natural cycle of things. It would be disappointing, beyond disappointing, if we fall short of a championship, at least one championship this season. But it can happen if we don't hold up our end of the bargain. There are some good teams in the league that could beat us on the day.
How heavily have you been relying on a lot of those seniors, like Ben Alrum, like a lot of these players who've been there for a long time, relying on them, especially heading into this SAA playoff, and leaning on them because they've been in this situation before?
Yeah, I think we'll find out. I think, it's been interesting. We've had a few key guys out at various points in the season. It's always like, I feel like we haven't been full strength all year. Ben missing the first half of the season. JR missing several games. A few guys carrying some knocks and bruises. So, I don't think, although we do have some senior leadership, I don't think we've really seen the best of it yet. And I'm excited to see them demonstrate that in the next few games.
It's been interesting watching you guys this season and just seeing how everything has come together. We've seen a lot of younger talent rising up as well.
Yeah.
Liam Duab is one that really comes to mind. What has it been like to see a lot of those younger players step up in those positions and really take charge?
Yeah, there have been a few key guys. With such a senior-laden team, I haven't coached a team this senior heavy ever in my 22 years. To see guys like Liam Duev and Christian Watson, they've been I think in multiple games, there have been 10 starting seniors and 1 freshman, or 2 freshmen being those 2 guys. So, it's exciting to, the future. We've got some, good young talent and in the pipeline. And I think you'll see a lot more younger players moving forward. We'll go with our traditional transfers and, things like that occasionally, but we've got some good young guys who have spent a lot of time with older players to see what it's all about, especially learning that transition from club soccer, high school soccer to a very good college standard. And I think they're going to be well prepared to lead the group moving forward when their time comes.
We talked about goalkeeping a little bit earlier on. I want to talk about AJ Evans, having him in between the posts for you guys. How important has he been, especially in that back line this season for Oglethorpe?
Yeah, AJ's been amazing. He's a natural leader, and it's a little hard for these guys who are in for the NBA 1 year coming into a culture and a program where they don't want to step on people's toes, but they do have experience, and we give them latitude to lead as they see fit. And he's done that. He's very vocal. He's very positive. He holds people accountable. That's definitely the kind of guy that you want between the posts heading into knockout soccer.
Is it interesting going into this SAA tournament a little bit differently? Y'all are the reigning champions from 2023. Is there a little bit of a weird thing going up against the number 7 in Millsaps, and they're coming in being like, hey, we want to take down the reigning champions?
Yeah, it's happened to us every year. This is a weird year with the bye, with Birmingham Southern not being in our conference anymore. And so normally we've had a 1 seed playing 8 seed. So this isn't really much different than what it has been. In some ways, it was a little bit of a reality check that, hey, it's not always going to be number 1. You've got to put all the parts in to earn that right. And I think in a few games we didn't do what we needed to do to get results. And what a great lesson to learn. Before it costs you everything, and now it does. So I think it's going to be, will our guys learn from those mistakes this season, which is what the season's all about. And if they apply that, look out, here we come.
Looking at Millsaps, looking at that opponent for Saturday, what are some things that they do well, and what are going to be some of the challenges for you guys heading into that game, and how do you come out on top?
I imagine they're going to get the same scouting report that Rhodes, Hendricks, Swanee, has used against us. Sit in, like crazy, frustrate them, see if they can be frustrated with themselves. The key to breaking that down is being extremely patient, being positive, continue to do what we do, and know that over 90 minutes, we're going to find solutions. It's always easier when you find an early solution, because then if they're trying to win the game, as opposed to just keeping it close, they're going to have to chase the game, which is going to open up a lot of gaps, which we should exploit. And we're hopeful for that, but it may be one of those where, it takes a little while to unlock a team that's going to be packed in. I can't imagine them doing anything other than that. But we'll be ready for it.
Last home game, you guys get to go back to Oglethorpe to get to play in front of your home fans. What is your message to all of them, especially coming out for this game on Saturday?
Yeah, this is it. I mean, we didn't put a bid in to host the NCAA tournament, so this is our last home game of the year. It's a great free game for families to come watch. You have the rest of the afternoon, after 1 o'clock kickoff to get down to Atlanta United's game. So you could watch a 2-for-1, one right here in Brookhaven, an easy one for the younger kids, and then everybody can head down to the Benz. I'm working on my schedule there to make that happen too.
I love it, Coach. Well, again, thank you so much for the time, and good luck on Saturday.
Thank you very much, Madison. Glad to be here. Thank you for having me.